सर अभी SBL का एग्जाम हो जाएगा।
बस एग्जाम के लिए याद करना मेरे को, है ना?
नहीं नहीं, फिर कॉफी भी तो देनी है ना, कॉफी के लिए फिर बनना भी
मैं देख तो पा नहीं रहा आशुतोष, फिर क्या कॉफ़ी क्या सब बातें हैं,
नहीं नहीं,
है ना?
बस देख सकते हैं।
ऑलराइट, दैट हेल्प्स। सलोनी पुत्र की हाल चाल की चल रहा है?
बढ़िया सर, आप बताओ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ तैयारी किस तरह?
तैयारी ठीक है सर। सर सेशन स्टार्ट हो उससे पहले मुझे आपसे ना कुछ पूछना था कि मुझे ना कुछ वर्क रिलेटेड आपसे कुछ क्वेरी है, तो मैंने आपको मैसेज ड्रॉप किया था बट आपने शायद देखा नहीं।
नहीं मैंने
मैं
देख
आपको
लिया
एक
बेटा,
वॉइस रिकॉर्डिंग में
मैंने
भेज दूं क्या?
मैंने
मतलब जो
देखा
मैंने
है,
करा।
मैंने देख लिया है, वो भी देख लिया है। अपना एग्ज़ाम ख़त्म होने तक का वेट करो, उसके बाद हम बात करेंगे। मैंने
उसमें सिर्फ आप भी हेल्प कर सकते हो, आप भी हेल्प कर नहीं सकता
मैंने
हूँ,
देख लिया
अदरवाइज
बेटा,
मैं आपको
मैंने
बॉदर नहीं
आपका
करती।
मैसेज भी देख लिया था। मैंने रिस्पॉन्ड बैक नहीं किया। मैंने कहा अभी हम एग्ज़ाम पे कंसंट्रेट करते हैं, फिर हम आएंगे इसके ऊपर, विल टॉक ऑन दैट। महक किद्दां
हाँ,
की चल रहा पुत्र? तैयारी वधिया?
तैयारी चल रही है।
वधिया, ऑल गुड?
यस।
Any questions so far, anyone, on what we discussed till date? Anything that really bothers you? Anything that really troubles you? Ashutosh? Anything? Why
Yes.
Karan is not here? Karan is here or not? Karan is not here. Okay. Should we kickstart what we really have in store today from the Dern Shoes perspective? Should we get into it? Alrighty, let's just kickstart, guys. Let's just kickstart in terms of what we wanted to cover, and of course this is the last leg, my friend. So I would officially say welcome to the day four of the grand revision of the strategic business leader exam for the June 2025 attempt. We are in the day 4, and I can very well understand it's going to be a stretch run. It has been a stretch run, but trust me, it all ends up for good. So we would certainly be in safe hands once we have done all of this, and of course have really captured all the details that are needed from the perspective of understanding the pre-scene material. Jumping on to the part 2 of the pre-scene material June 2025 attempt, we had the question discussion that started off last time, and we really covered the industry relevant details into I would say in a detailed perspective in terms of what does industry really says. We have already done that. What are the issues of the industry? What is happening in this industry, both from the compliance side of it, legislation side of it, then from the business standpoint, how the business framework is doing, or the business stability is really doing, and so on and so forth, how the growth is really happening in the industry, and getting on to the detail of various risks that this industry is really exposed to, and so on and so forth. So we have effectively captured all of that when we started off really unlayering the pre-scene material from the industry perspective. What we really have in store today is that we'll be now capturing the company's detail in terms of what the Dern Shoes is all about, what all they have done, and then let's try highlighting in terms of areas that should raise your eyebrows in some way or the other. So what I've done is, while you would see the entire presentation being given, and Mehak, you would have seen the 3 of the presentations has already been circulated to you guys. This will come by end of the day today. You would have this too. This effectively unlayers each and every perspective of this organization. I'm sure once you have done the last session, and then when you would have gone back and studied the industry, it would have been a lot more easy for you. The work would have been very easy as compared to the first read that anyone would have without hearing it out from me. So I'm sure once you'll now go and read out the background of this company, you would be in a much safer place, if I may say that, for the lack of better word. All right, so let's not waste time, guys. Let's just jump in terms of what we really wanted to dwell on. We are talking on the Dern Shoes in terms of what this pre-scene material really says about this company, what exactly we should be carrying at the back of our head, in the exam room and so on and so forth. So if I really say Dern Shoes, it was founded 100 years ago. We have already spoken on that. It's a pretty old company, we know that. Known for the reasonably priced, well-made shoes for the adult and children. Now this is our edge, that we are effectively making shoes for adults as well as for the children. And not to forget, we are known for our reasonable pricing. So it's more like we are somewhat differentiating our strategy to be a price sensitive strategy, or differentiated price strategy, or low price strategy, as you may want to call it, from the marketability standpoint. That is my edge, that is my strategic advantage, that is my somewhere competitive edge that I've created. I should have that at the back of my mind, come what may. Among the first to receive the MIL mark for formal shoes, I think it's an important benchmark that we should say. MIL, I think over here stands for Made in Luckland. So effectively they have been the first to receive this mark, that they can put it on the formal shoes, which is really good, because this really strengthens the confidence of our consumers that this company is differentiated, because country also recognizes this company differently. All right, now if I really talk on the manufacturing history of this organization, originally the entire manufacturing of Dern company or Dern Shoes was happening in Luckland. Originally they started off with that, but since last 15 years, now this is being specifically mentioned in the preceding material, that since last 15 years they have decided that they will go to country of Totland, some other country, to reduce the cost. Again, we have understood somewhere that outsourcing is playing in this industry, because there are cheaper options being available for companies in Luckland to really import shoes from some other country, and of course repackage it or rebrand it, and of course sell it in their own country. That is really happening in this industry as far as Luckland is concerned. And of course Dern Shoes is no different, they are doing the same thing. Now, retained one small factory in Lane is in Luckland. So effectively I only have now, as a Dern Shoes, I only have one factory now in Lane and rest of it is not there, and I have effectively outsourced everything to the country of Totland, and that's what makes me even more that makes me really worried. And you should certainly circle this down, my friend. I have dependency on one country and maybe one manufacturer. We'll see to that in a while, but I have a dependency. Now that's I would say strategic risk that I'm really living for, because too much of a dependency on any of the company, which is more than 80% of my business, is too huge a risk for anybody to have. Now X company is a major Totland manufacturer that produces the Dern's mass market shoes. So effectively I'm dependent on X company in Totland for doing whatever I'm doing right now at this point in time. Big time risk, my friend. I personally see this to be a risk. All right, operations and logistics, head office, small factory, warehouse remains in Lane. Dern is a major employer in Lane, so effectively the state which I'm belonging to, or city which I'm, as the case may be, which I'm really working in with, I'm a major player over here. So I have a big time reputation out here. Okay, good. Now DT Global Transport ships the goods from Totland to Luckland. So effectively, since it is an import that is happening from one country to the other, I have to use some transport mechanism, and DT Global is the one who is transporting that. So I have a dependency on one single company in Totland. That's one. And of course, considering the way they have given, my dependency is also on transportation, which is being managed by DT Global. Okay, I'm just right now consuming this, my friend, and trying to really have that at the back of my mind, that what all can be the risks or the issues as the case may be. Product ranges and sales, if I really talk on, mass produced shoes are made up of X company in Totland. Okay, we know that. Only formal shoes are handcrafted in Lucklands. Only is very small portion of my business, which if I really remember, it was more like 10-12% of my business that is happening in the manufacturing is happening in Luckland. The rest, everything is being imported from XYZ country, which is Totland in our case. Products sold across Luckland through 75 branded retail outlet and the company's website. Okay, I get that. Now offline online thing might come up, right? Dern does not export its product. I would say it's a big opportunity, my friend. He specifically says in the preceding material that Dern company is not exporting anything. Who knows, Mehak, that you get to see a question in the exam wherein they ask you that, we are contemplating starting an export division. We're contemplating that should we export. We're contemplating XYZ country, who would be exporting. If that is something that we really have to get into, what all things we really need to consider. What is our strategic, I would say, pluses and minuses in relation to this? How is that possible? Does Mehak understand that Porter's Diamond will get into the play for getting into a particular country? Does she understand that or not? She is a FinTrammer, sir. She very well understand all of that. She is gonna be killing it. I'm loving you, Mehak, for that. That should be the answer, my friend, and that is what we really need to demonstrate in the exam. All of these pointers should, my friend, stays in your mind, come what may, because nothing extraordinary is going to be seen in the exam. It will be issue something in relation to these areas only that we have to deal with. Let's be more broad-based in terms of handling those details. Let's be more, I would say, commonsensical in terms of handling those issues, and rest is going to be history, my friend. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Moving on. Let's talk on the ownership. Now, this is a big time issue I saw. When I read that, I was pretty confident about this company in terms of the way this company is really operated, the way they are doing what they're doing. But I was not happy when I was seeing their ways of managing the things. Although the majority of shares in Dern are owned by founder's family, okay, good. None of the family member are on board or have involvement in the management of the company, which I didn't like. It should not be the case, right? I own 70% of this company, as the graph really says. And even then, I do not have any presence in the management. I don't think so. It's too big a size, right? God knows why, but that should raise my eyebrows. Okay, Dern is not listed company, okay, on the Luckland Stock Exchange, but governance arrangement are consistent with the good corporate governance. I read it, I love it. I was expecting this. Okay, I'm consuming that for now. All right, as a non-listed company, directors made the decision not to have audit, nomination, and remuneration committee. Now, my friend, how this can be a good corporate governance? If you do not have audit, nomination, and remuneration committee, okay, I'm not listed. I'm not supposed to, of course, legally I'm not supposed to do this, which is absolutely fine. But if I don't have it, can I really say myself that I have a good corporate governance? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe there is a risk that I am really sitting on, since I am not having these separate committees. And he specifically says the internal audit team reports to the chief financial officer. Oh my God, the internal audit team is reporting to the CFO. Nope, sir. This is not right, sir. This is absolutely not right, sir. They should actually report to the audit committee if that was the case, but this is not over here. Is this a good structure? Maybe not. Do you have a opportunity of getting a question in the exam that really talks about the risk that the company might be exposed to? Yes. Can you get a question on the corporate governance in relation to this area? Maybe yes. You may have to cite out the benefit of having good audit committee, having the right risk committee, nomination committees, and all of that. What kind of pluses this organization may have. You never know if there is an issue that really comes to you with this regard. We should know this, that there is a governance issue in this company. Somewhere we should have that at the back of our mind. Is that clear, Saloni? Is that clear? Yes, sir. Moving on. Let's talk on the key stakeholders. They have specifically given that there are various stakeholders. Remember, the moment stakeholders really comes to your mind, Saloni's mind says, Sir, Mendello framework, sir. Sir, Mendello is something I should be knowing, sir. See, I'm not really ratifying any model for you, Saloni, but we are really training our mind that this is how we should be thinking about. This is how we should be worried about when it comes to the exam as a question that you really see over there. All right, now, Who all are my key stakeholders? I have shareholder, I have staff, head office, staff, factory staff, warehouse staff, retail outlet. I have customers. Customer is the king. Who doesn't know that? Third party manufacturer, big time stakeholder, right? Big time stakeholder. I have too much of a dependency on this man. Okay. Distribution partner, big time stakeholder. They can really govern me in some way or the other. I have to have some alternate being available. Suppliers, bank, trade unions. Trade unions are always a problem. Okay. Luckland Shoe Association, legislation, compliance. All of those issues really get in over here. They are an important one. We should know this. We should know who can impact what. Where is my capability to really change these people, impact these people? How will these people impact my working, and so on and so forth? We should know that. Yes, sir, we are getting there. Staff relation, high level of staff loyalty, commitment and satisfaction. I love this, Mayank. This is really good. If you have good and high level of loyalty being available in the organization, you're really good, right? I'm in a safe hand, which is very good. Low staff turnover, we're absolutely loving it, really like it, right? Low staff turnover is a good thing to have. Who does want people to leave the organization? No, we don't want that. It is not happening. We are good. All right. Multi-generational employment is common. Okay. दादाजी, पापा जी और बेटा जी सब ने काम कर रहे हैं, सब हमारे साथ काम कर रहे हैं, which is good, right? Which is really nice. So which is important because it really instills the faith, right? But you never know, Saloni, that it is a function of you being the prominent player in lane, right? Now, if somebody really comes up and which has a better staff policies than yourself, who knows if this competition really takes up the share that you really are enjoying at this point in time. But you should, for now, you should be knowing that yes, this is the status, this is where I am. Let's see, how my people policies are. How am I really dealing with it? Is there an increase over a period of time in terms of satisfaction, or a decrease over a period of time in the satisfaction? Let's check it out. But I'm consuming it for now, but with an open mind. To be open to hear any negative or positive as the case may be. Is that clear, Saloni? Yes, sir. Moving on. Let's talk on relationship with the X company, which is the manufacturer. They are mass producing the goods for us. Let's see what the relationship is. Once positive but deteriorating over last 2 years. महक बेटा खड़े हो जाना है हमें अपनी चेयर से जब हम इस तरह की चीज सुने. It's a big time problem. I have big dependency on this company and my relationship is deteriorating. Not good. It is a big time risk for me. Who knows that he gives you a question, Saloni, in the exam that you are contemplating somebody else as to be your vendor. Then that company has XYZ technology. That company has XYZ benefits. Should we move our business from X company to that company? Who knows if something like this really comes up in the exam. So we should be knowing what all are the positives out here. What all things are not working right here. Do I have those things working out in the other company? Do I have some backup being available? Because right now I don't have any backup availability. Do you have any, let's say, lock-in period with them in terms of, that they would of course do the right transitioning out, right transitioning in? Do we currently have any contract with the X company that if we'll ask them to leave, will they help the transitioning to a new vendor in a rightful way? Do we have something like in the clause and whatnot? Now see, Saloni, what am I doing? Am I implementing any model? Nope. What am I implementing, my friend? Only the common sense. Only the general acumen that I have when it comes to any business. That is what we are needed, Mayank. There is nothing else that is needed, Karan. The more we'll do this, the more we'll be able to handle this in the best possible way. Alright, now increasing quality issues from X company's factory is not good. I'm not liking it. Quality checks in Luckland shows poor production standards. I'm really not liking it. Now, rising customer returns due to faulty issues. I'm sad now. Growing delays in dispatch of orders from X company. Everything is going wrong with this bugger here. Why are we staying with this bugger? Unless and until he improves, we are not gonna be staying with this. This is certainly gonna be one area, my friend, which examiner can hit you. they can really hit you to understand that, how would you handle this kind of a scenario. That too, when you have hell lot of dependency on X company and X company is in a different country. It is not easy to manage, it is not easy to drive, it is not easy to really take control of how one would be managing. Who knows if there is a question that really comes up your way which says that you probably have to, let's say, acquire some company overseas as your subsidiary and they would manufacture for you. Who knows if something like this really comes your way? Saket, you never know if something like this, examiner gives you something like this. We have to be open for that. We have to be open for the pluses and minuses in terms of how do we outweigh that. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Distribution. DT Global Transport provides shipment between Totland and Lane Warehouse. Service levels are excellent. I'm loving this, my friend. But I don't have a backup. I should have at least 2 players, right? Just to make sure that I have a backup being available, right? I can't be dependent on one person to export all my or import all my goods, right? Not good. Dependency on one person is certainly not right. Avoid as much as possible. Is that clear, Meg? Yes, sir. Going on to the board and the organizational structure, they have executive chair which talks on, non-executive director 1, 2, 3, 4 non-executive directors, and one, of course, the executive director, which is the chief executive officer, and they have many chief executive officers. So effectively the ratio of, let's say, executive directors and non-executive directors is not that great. There are many less non-executive directors as compared to the executive directors. Again, they are not listed one, so this problem might not be there, but they have to demonstrate good corporate governance irrespective of the fact that they are listed or not. The current org structure demonstrates that they do not have the same. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Moving on. The board and the organizational structures have explained what responsibilities they handle. Executive chair is effectively a leader. Then you have the chief executive officer who is leading the executive team. We have CFO, COO, chief commercial officer. We have chief product officer, chief information officer, and chief human resource officer. And of course, detailing is being given. There is nothing to highlight over here. It's very generic out, so I'm not really getting on to the details. Now, coming on to some of the important aspects of the board and the organizational structure. If I really talk on the board of directors, most of the directors have 20 years of experience with Dern, which is huge, right? I love this. They're with this company for so many years, which of course demonstrate their faith in the company. Relationships among directors are positive, which is really good. Decision making approach is risk averse, which is good and bad too, right? You want people to be risk averse, but not overly risk averse. So, and of course, considering where the company is, you may have to take some bold decisions. So you have to have somebody who is open for taking some more risks as compared to having a risk averse nature kind of a thing. I'm only being sensitizing you, considering I saw this specifically out in the preceding material. Organizational structure, functional top-down and hierarchical structure, okay. Clear chains of command and formal communication lines, which is good, right? Well-defined processes focused on operational efficiencies and effectiveness. I love this. Departmental divisions, head of office departments, finance, purchasing, business development, human resource, IT, R&D, customer service, okay. Other departments are warehouse, factory, retail and outlets. Senior management team comprises department managers who report to the board members, okay. Nothing glaring that I saw which I should be worried about, but yes, I am consuming it for now. If I really talk on the products that Dern company is really manufacturing or is into, Dern sells 4 types of shoes: formal, semi-formal. Children's shoes have been manufactured for years, and casual shoes have been manufactured for just 10 years, so not that old in the casual shoe business, okay. All are made in Totland, ex-company, with an exception of formal shoes which are being produced in Dern's own factory in Luckland. Details are in the next slide. We'll talk on that in a while. Dern produces 20 different styles of each types of shoes. 20 different styles of each type of shoes. These styles are reviewed on annual basis and updated for any changes in the fashion such as color or height or of heel, etc., etc. I personally felt when I read that it is too big a time for somebody to revise their shoe in terms of design. 1 year is a too big period, right? As in too big a period for anybody to revise their designs now. We are living in an era where every quarterly we should be changing our designs to be more attractive and more in demand kind of a thing. I could see that approach to be more backlayed. Those which are performing poorly are no longer manufactured. When a style is removed, a new style replaces the same. Dern is unusual in the industry as it uses both handcrafting and mass production and offers all the 4 types of shoes, which I personally feel is my strategic advantage. Now, do I be capitalizing on it or should I be changing on this? It depends on the kind of exhibit you would see in the exam, issues you would see in the exam. But as of now, the way I read it, it's my strategic advantage that I'm actually doing the both thing, handcrafting as well as manufacturing, and getting the things done from some other country, and of course ensuring that I'm doing all the 4 types of shoes. So I'm basically being able to diversify my risk not only into the one segment of shoes, but I'm actually doing all the segments. So good diversification is also happening out there. Is that clear, Saloni ji? Yes, sir. All right. Moving on, the types of shoes. So they've spoken on all the 4 categories of shoes: formal, semi-formal, casual, and children. If I really talk on the formal shoes, Dern markets these shoes which have MIL mark as handcrafted shoes are skilled labor, replaces some of the processes which are carried out by machine in the mass production manufacturing environment. They are made of leather and are most expensive shoes shown by Dern. Target market is 30 to 50 year old. Parrish is the market leader for the shoe type. It charges higher price than Dern. It's an opportunity for me, Saloni beta, that I can actually get more price out here, or I try to get on to various designs what Parrish really gets to the market, and I keep selling it at a lower price so that my market share increases. Who knows what strategy really comes your way, but I could sense out that I am where I am and what all are the options that are being available for me. Alright, moving on to the semi-formal category. These shoes are cheaper than the Dern's formal shoes as the soles are made of rubber rather than leather. The target market is over 55-year-old. Okay, Dern is the market leader of this type of shoe and has a market share just slightly above Better Buy. Okay, the other leading manufacturer of the semi-formal shoes. While I have an edge, but a very slight edge as compared to my next best supplier or next best competitor. Now, what should I do for increasing this difference? I should be much higher than my competitor, Better Buy. How can I do that? What kind of strategy I should have that? It depends on the kind of question that you really get onto or the situation that you get onto the exam. But you should be thinking about those lines, that I am good in the semi-formal category, but not that great considering the difference between me and my competitor is not that high. Alright, now that may mean that you have to have more product differentiation or more good designs, quick change of designs, and so on and so forth. It all are the pointers that should come to your mind. Casual category, the soles of these shoes are made of rubber and the upper of man-made material, and so they are cheaper than the Dern's semi-formal shoes. The target market is 18 to 30-year-old in demographic. Dern is struggling to engage with. Okay, Rego is the market leader for this type of shoe and commands strong brand loyalty among the target demographic. Alright, so I have a scope out here. I'm struggling, I'm not that great. I may have to have a rightful strategy for really killing the Rego or getting on with the Rego as much as possible. Now, if I really get on to the children, okay, these are mass-produced leather shoes for children. Dern is the market leader for this age group and has excellent reputation in its retail outlets for correctly measuring and fitting the children's shoes. Okay, Dern's closest competitor is a small manufacturer called Tiptoe. I would love to acquire that. If I were there, I don't know what question really may come to your come in the exam, but he's a small manufacturer. I'm really doing good in this segment. Why should I not acquire him? I have no reason for it. Unless and until exhibit says something different to you, this is a sure shot case of acquisition. I would love to do that if it is possible for me. If I have funds, if I have this yes from my leadership, I would just go and acquire this company and of course be the market leader come what may. Are you with me, Mayank? Saket, are you
Yes,
with
sir.
me on this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I can't see you guys. I'll ask my team to log off the people who are switching off their cameras. Right? Ashutosh, Saloni, anybody from FinTram team, please note this. People who are switching off their cameras, they should be taken off from my class. Ashutosh? Saket? Anybody from FinTram team over here? Are you guys hearing me? If people are not switching on their cameras, please take them off. मैं ठीक है ना, निकाल देना जो कैमरा ऑन नहीं कर रहा. क्या बोलते हो सलोनी? इज दिस ओके?
सर मेरा तो ऑन है लेकिन
I know that. Ashutosh, is that okay? देखो यही बस that is the problem I have. That people have joined and then they are not there. That is where I don't know where they are. Ashutosh? Alright, we'll just go in the interest of time for all. Yes, please.
Sir, I have a question. They have mentioned that most of the directors have worked for Dern for over 20 years. So are they talking about NEDs also, or they're only talking about executive directors?
They have not spoken on it. I will assume that for everyone.
So
They have
this
not
is a
spoken on that.
problem, right?
I don't see this to be a problem. This can be a concern that I don't have a situation wherein I am able to see new blood getting onto my company or a new thought getting into my company. But having leadership old enough to manage the company is always good, Meg. Is always good.
Sir, but NEDs are to be like removed or changed certain.
But that is true. So you're going in a different direction, I'm going in a different direction. I was more saying that, when people are old in terms of their experiences, the value add is better because of their experiences. Of course, you have to see the normal process of changing and bringing that again. That's certainly there.
Sir, for how long can executive director be on board?
You tell me.
Like for continuously he should be on for 3 years and after that he should be on for like.
Meg, what does she say? 3 years, 4 years, 2 years? What is that?
Actually उसके बाद शेयर होल्डर्स को एवरी ईयर राइट मिलता है उनको वापस रीअपॉइंट करने के लिए और वोट करने के लिए.
Meg बेटा, कितना टाइम मिलता है?
So she's talking about NED or ED?
ED,
Sir,
executive directors.
I don't.
There is no timeline for
I
executive
don't know.
directors. There is no timeline for executive directors.
But they can be on board for any time.
Generally, the re-election happens, no? So it's an elective process. So till the time they are elected, it is good. There is no mandate from the legislation that you have to change executive directors. NED के लिए तो हमारे पास एक mandate है, EDs के लिए नहीं है.
But sir 3 years related भी कुछ था वो किसके लिए था फिर?
मुझे नहीं याद है बेटा.
एक NED एम्प्लॉय नहीं होना चाहिए लास्ट 3 इयर्स में कंपनी. आई थिंक ये था.
समय का वो दूसरा.
एक बार चेक कर लो सलोनी. मतलब मेरे को नहीं पता आप कहाँ कंफ्यूज हो रहे, बट एक बार चेक करना.
ठीक है सर.
Okay. All right. Let's go and get on to.
इसका 10 ईयर के लिए ना.
Sorry.
एनएडी 10 ईयर के लिए ना आपका टाइम है. 9 ईयर.
मुझे सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है मैं.
मैं बोल रहा एनएडी
9 years. 9 years. All right. Let's get on. Manufacturing and R&D. 15 years ago, Dern closed all the Luckland manufacturing facilities except for the factory in Lane. Okay, we heard that, we understood this. Formal shoes are still manufactured in Lane. That's there. Research and development is conducted in the Luckland. Okay, so I'm still doing the work, right? Sales and distribution. Products sold mainly through 75 retail outlets across the town and cities in Luckland. Okay. Strong reputation for customer service in retail outlet contributing to the success. Do not forget this, my friend. Very important that there is a strong reputation of my customer for my customer base that is there. No retail presence or export outside Luckland. It is a big time opportunity, guys. We should know this. We are not exporting outside Luckland. I personally feel it is a big time opportunity. You would certainly get something on this ground. He loves to test, how are you really thinking of getting onto Ansoff matrix or getting onto the BCG matrix or getting onto the Porter's diamond. He always loves to talk on. All of that can be implemented in the expansion into a different country as the case may be. All right, online sales. If I really talk on, what should I be doing from the online perspective? All the products available online, but only to the Luckland customers. Again, an export thing is not there. We have to see, if there is a infrastructure being available. No home delivery. Customers must collect purchases from local Dern outlets. Big time problem. Big time problem. Which world they are living right now at this point in time? How is that possible that I'm ordering and I'm asking someone to please go to my store and collect? Is that something that is happening right now at this point in time in the world of Amazon and the Flipkarts of the world? Absolutely not. It's a big time problem. Lack of delivery service has limited online sales growth. It is a problem of the industry, but it is what it is. If I have to grow, I have to find an alternate. Online sales currently represent only 12% of the total sales. Only 12%. I have a huge opportunity, my friend, out here. I have to find out what is possible and how is that possible. Let's not forget that this is certainly an opportunity for all of us. If I really talk on the manufacturing and the sales process, they have given the entire process. I personally felt that it is okay. There is nothing that I would want to highlight out here in the entire process in terms of what is really happening when they're manufacturing on their own and what is really happening when they're, of course, importing it from some other country. Nothing as such that I would want to mention. Very generic process, nothing alarming out here. If I really talk on information systems and use of technology, now let's go and churn this out. All right, we have head office uses off-the-shelf finance and HR systems in place for several years. Now, off-the-shelf finance and HR systems. What is off-the-shelf finance and HR systems? Any idea, guys? Saket, any idea what is off-the-shelf finance and HR systems?
Maybe the finance and accounts.
Saloni, what were you saying?
Freelancing kind of something.
Freelance. Saket, what were you saying?
Finance from a very not a listed institution or something like that.
Mehak, any idea?
I think off-the-shelf means which are readily available. I think pre-built.
Which are readily available, I think?
They are pre-built system.
Pre-built system, okay. Saket, Mehak and Mayank. Mayank, anything that you want to add on?
I don't have any.
I think the way I see off-the-shelf systems, off-the-shelf system is a system that is available in the market, which I can just take and plug and play. Tally, for that matter, is a off-the-shelf accounting system, right? I just buy and start doing accounting, because there is everything that one would do from the accounting perspective is inbuilt into that system. Off-the-shelf finance and HR systems are the ones which are like pre-built, the way the Mehak said, pre-built system available in the market to buy and maybe a plug and play kind of a thing that you may have to do, which is good to an extent. But if company has to really grow in size and of the size of what Done Shoes is, they have to have their own systems, which makes me feel that there is an opportunity out here. Let's read the second thing. HR system is adequate for current needs. Okay, what is about future need? He has not spoken on that. Maybe I have to have that in my mind. Finance systems needs future investment. Oh, now I know there is an opportunity, my friend. He might throw a question at you. Implementing an HR and finance system, buying an HR or finance system, what all pluses and minuses you really have in your mind, what all things a finance system should have, what all things HR system should have, and so on and so forth. This might be playing on the examiner mind. Who knows that? But the way the pre-seen material talks about it, this is a problem, this is an opportunity. Inventory and supply chain. New inventory system recently got implemented, provides daily updates from retail outlet inventory, which is good. Only weekly update for the rest of supply chain. Negative. Why only weekly? Why not real time? Problem. Lacks full supply chain transparency. Nope. That's not right. It is an issue. This might comes your way, my friend. We have to talk on the supply chain issues, what you really get exposed to if there is no transparency. Manufacturing and warehousing. Significant investment in advanced manufacturing technology in Luckland factory. Automation used for parts of production process. Automated picking system used for retail outlet inventory. Manual picking process still used for online orders. E-commerce and digital presence. E-commerce platform has limited functionality, which is a problem, right? Industry level problem this is, that I have very limited penetration, weak digital engagement and marketing due to platform limitation. Again a problem, my friend. You might get to see something on this ground wherein you have to enhance your digital engagement. Is there a need to buy some technology, implement some technology, or buy a company which already has it in your country, outside your country? Who knows if something like this really comes up? But this is certainly a problem. From the internal communication perspective, I think everything is right. They have been doing it, fairly rightful way. Now they have given the risk register also, my friend, and the risks that are being written out here, almost all of the risks we have understood while reading the pre-seen material. One of the risks is that there is a supply chain disruption. We know that transparency is not there. There are issues. There will be a supply chain disruption. Our dependency on one vendor is a problem, and so on and so forth. The potential economic downturn in Luckland, which is happening, right? We saw in the last session, this is happening. It's a problem. Dern's limited online offering. Mehak knows it. It's a problem. Product recalls, the returns that is happening. Saloni knows it. It's a problem. Product quality issues. Saket knows it. It's a problem. Environmental impact of shoe industry and customers' reaction to it. It is always a problem. We are into a business which is impacting the nature. It is always going to be a problem. We have to know this. We have to somewhere nail this down. Now, if I really talk on my website extracts, I want you to somewhere know this heart and heart, my friend, because whenever any mission, vision and values are being given, in any answer that you really write, answer should be somewhere smelling these mission, vision and the values. Your answer should somewhere be inclined towards these mission, towards these vision, toward these values and so on and so forth. So you have to really read this, and it is not very different than what you would have if you were doing the business, but you should certainly call it out in your answers in some way or the other, so that examiner could sense and smell that your answer has the essence of mission, vision and the value of Dern Shoes. So you have to know this, you have to demonstrate that in the exam in some shape or format. Is that clear, guys? Is that clear, Saket sir? Saket sir, is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, moving on. Financial and non-financial information. Let's, this is a summary that has been given. My market share over like last 4 years is somewhere declining, which is not good. My gross, profit margin is somewhere declining. If you really see this, while I'm above the industry average, that is good, but I'm still on the declining mode. Do not forget that my market share is declining. My gross margin percentage is declining. My customer satisfaction is again declining. And do not forget, my customer satisfaction is less than the industry average, which is again gonna be a big time problem, because if something like this happens, then I'm actually killing myself. I'm actually running towards even more reducing my market share, which is not good. Staff satisfaction, I'm much higher than my the overall industry average, and I'm pretty decent in terms of what I'm doing over there. So that is my strength in some way or the other. Now, some of the potential areas, my friend, that you that I'll not say that you should certainly expect in the exam, but I'm just wanting you to ensure that you are not forgetting this, or you have revised this before you really sit for the exam. I do feel that there is a need for doing the SWOT analysis, what kind of strength and weaknesses the Dern shoes has, both on the internal capabilities and the external challenges. You should certainly know this in some way or the other. Porter's 5 forces, I personally feel that certainly 5 forces and a diamond. I think I missed writing a diamond out here. Porter's 5 forces and Porter's diamond is something coming your way, because they would certainly want you to do some different thing in the same industry or in a country. They would certainly want that. Stakeholder analysis, we have already, there are too many stakeholders, so one has to really think about, how am I impacting, or how my stakeholders are impacting me. We have seen the list of stakeholders. BCG matrix, I'm yet to understand that this company has money or not, or how much money this company has. But I have to understand, if I have the money, where will I put my money on? Whether it is technology, whether it is acquiring a company, whether it is increasing my online presence, and so on and so forth. So there are various opportunities being given. I have to think through the BCG matrix in terms of where should I be putting in my money. Important. Identification and mitigation of the risk on the community risk register. We have already seen that there are many risks one should be really aware of. Governance issues, lack of audit, nomination and remuneration committee, important. Ethical implication of outsourcing production to the countries, and poor labor protection, because we have seen in the last session that generally there is a poor labor protection in various countries, and due to that the demand of my product is really going down. Evaluation of Dern's use of technology, again very important, and you should know this. These are some of the areas, my friend, I personally felt that I could, if I really have to circle down, what all issues I've observed in the pre-seen material. This is something I think you should have at, in your mind when you're really walking into the exam room. These are like really potential areas I could really put across from the entire pre-seen material that I've given a read. That's pretty much, guys, that I have have for discussion. That's pretty much I really wanted to discuss out. We'll be more than happy to pick up any question, guys, anyone may have. I hope this overall analysis that we have done, the discussion that we have done, really put things to rest in terms of what is troubling you in your mind, because this actually is the crux of the entire pre-seen material. I'll be sharing the slides with you. I'm sure this will be very helpful to you in some way or the other, because once you'll have slides being done, it is easier for you to consume the entire pre-seen material. And if you're doing the pre-seen material tonight, I'm sure you'll be able to nail this down. I have highlighted some of the important areas. Do not forget that. I think that's going to be a game changer. Think about those areas, have some thoughts in your mind, and hit the exam, my friend. I think that's pretty much you needed. There is nothing more you need else than the fact that you should have faith in you that whatever we have done, we have nailed it, and come what may, 3 or 15 minutes in the exam, I am gonna be sitting out there and giving my best. Irrespective of I know thing or not, I'll apply my common sense, write it out there, and come up with the flying colors. And of course, as Ashutosh really said, calling Pankaj Dhingra for a cup of coffee on the result day. I think I'll be the happiest soul on this earth to get a call from you for the same. That's pretty much, guys. I think I'll probably open up for any kind of Q&A anyone may have. I hope I'll be able to resolve it.
से रिकॉर्डिंग्स अवेलेबल हो जाएंगे मतलब?
सब हो जाएगा आज रात को सब कुछ आ जाएगा. Everything will be out.
ठीक.
I was not keeping well for last 2 days, and somebody in my family passed away. So because of that, there was some delays that were happening. So I was not here.
Okay.
But आज रात तक सब कुछ हो जाएगा बेटा. Everything will be done.
No issues.
My Chacha ji passed away. So it was a family.
Sorry to hear that.
So because of that, I was really not available for 3 days online, and all the rituals that we all have to go through. So because of that, back to action. Anything, anyone, guys? Saloni beta, anything I can help you out with? Mayank, Ashutosh, Mehak, material मिल जाएगा बेटा, recordings मिल जाएंगे, उसका कोई issue नहीं है. But what is really important, guys, is that जो पॉइंट हाईलाइट कर रहा हूँ ना बच्चे, वो पॉइंट थोड़ा सा सोचो, कुछ पेन डाउन करो अपने हाथ से, कुछ थॉट्स लिखो अपने. जितने आप 2, 4, 5, 10 थॉट्स लिखोगे ना, आई एम श्योर. और एक बार अब जाके ना खुद प्री सीन मटेरियल पूरा पढ़ो. आई थिंक दैट वुड ऑल्सो बी वेरी हेल्पफुल, बिकॉज अब आप जब पढ़ोगे ना तो आपको लगेगा बड़ा आसान हो गया पढ़ना, बहुत आसानी से समझ में आ रहा है अब. तो वो एक बहुत अच्छा हो जाता है, फिर वो फ्लेवर आ जाता है पूरा. एंड एक बार पढ़ने के बाद फिर प्री सीन मटेरियल पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, फिर ये प्रेजेंटेशन ही देखना, बिकॉज प्रेजेंटेशन में सब कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट जो प्री सीन मटेरियल में है ना वो कवर्ड है, तो कुछ और नहीं पढ़ने की ज़रूरत. सलोनी बेटा, एनीथिंग आई कैन हेल्प यू विद? मयंक,
ठीक है सर, अभी तो
Thank you.
महक, I'm just a message away, guys. If there is anything that troubles you, just do message me. We can have a call also, that's fine. If there is a need for a call, we can certainly have a call on this weekend. We can really talk on any kind of issues that in fact, what I'll do is that if there is anything that we can do, I can do a call on Friday. Saturday, Sunday, I'm not available this time. I have to be traveling. So Friday, if there is a need, we can put up a call. We can really talk through and see how this goes. I have seen Mayank's mock being received, but none of you have sent me the mock. So please do that. Do that for your own good, not for me. Mayank, you will get the reward on your mock by Friday. You'll get that from me. As I said, I was not here, Mayank, so I was not able to correct this. I will be doing that tomorrow, and Friday you should have it.
Oh, issue.
All right. If there is nothing better, then we'll wrap this up. I hope I was able to add some value to you. Saket, any question, beta? I have not forgotten you.
नहीं सर, एकदम परफेक्ट अभी तो.
All right. If there is nothing, guys, let's just wrap this up. I give you back your time, and really look forward for having many cup of coffees all across India and the world. Thank you very much, guys. Look forward. All the very best.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, sir.